Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of the Screen Facts with Jason Davis podcast, where we discuss a movie and share some fun trivia facts about the film during the conversation. Starting next month, we'll be taking a more flexible approach to the podcast. We're going to keep releasing new episodes. It just won't necessarily be weekly. So always check for new episodes on Wednesday. That is when we will release them. For information on how to access all of the past episodes of the show, please visit jasondavisvoice.com/podcast. Please like us on Facebook at facebook.com/screenfacts. You can post your comments or questions. You can also tweet me at jasondavisvoice or email screenfacts@yahoo.com. Well, joining me on this episode of the podcast is my lovely and talented and exceptional wife, Sue.
Why, thank you, honey.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me for another fun-filled episode.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
So we're in Christmas mode this month on the podcast.
Oh, we sure are.
And we're not going to get too sentimental just yet, though.
No.
We're going to talk about another funny one on this episode of the podcast. A movie that you and I saw together, and it's one that we go back to every year. Mm-hmm. Four Christmases. Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, we saw this in the theater, didn't we?
I think you remember correctly.
All right. A fun movie.
Yes.
It was one of those movies where you go, it's probably going to be fun. Vince Vaughn's in it. Mm-hmm. Reese Witherspoon.
Sure. And a couple of other little small actors.
Yeah, I mean, the cast in this movie is pretty exceptional. In addition to Vince and Reese, Robert Duvall, Sissy Spacek, Jon Voight, Jon Favreau, Mary Steenburgen, Dwight Yoakam, Tim McGraw, Kristen Chenoweth, and Katie Mixon, who I love.
She's fantastic.
She was on Eastbound and Down on HBO, very funny show. And she's currently on American Housewife on ABC, and she's great on that.
Super great.
And some other casting notes that we should mention, too. The cast includes 2 country western singers. I mentioned Dwight Yoakam and Tim McGraw.
Yep.
3 people who have won Oscars for playing country western singers.
Oh, that's right.
Reese Witherspoon in Walk the Line, Robert Duvall in Tender Mercies, and Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter.
Yeah.
Jon Voight and Mary Steenburgen both also won Oscars. So all of the actors that play the parents have won Academy Awards.
Amazing. Reese Witherspoon actually said that they should have had a Bring Your Oscar to Work Day.
They could have.
Yeah. She said it was a lot of fun working with Jon Voight, Robert Duvall. She said she and Sissy actually talked a lot about, playing country singers and, and she also said that she had the biggest crush on Robert Duvall for a long time.
That's interesting.
And, she just, she said, he's a real Southern guy.
Yeah.
So she just really enjoyed working on this movie.
He's a phenomenal actor,
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
He's a little over the top in this movie, but normally he's more understated, I think. But he's great in the movie. He's fantastic as Vince Vaughn's dad in the movie.
Speaking of which, Vernon Vaughn, Vince Vaughn's real-life father, he makes a cameo as a churchgoer during the Christmas play. Yeah, he's sitting right behind Reese Witherspoon. He's had cameo roles in several of Vince's films, including Swingers, Maid, and The Breakup.
And what was the other one that we saw that he was into? Couples Retreat. Yeah, another great movie. Very fun.
Yep.
Four Christmases, released originally November 26, 2008. Directed by Seth Gordon, who also directed the hilarious Horrible Bosses.
Oh, I love that movie.
Another favorite of ours, right?
Yep.
He also did some episodes of another great ABC TV show, The Goldbergs.
Oh, fun.
And he's the director for the upcoming movie version of Baywatch with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Zac Efron, which is supposed to be funny as well.
I'm sorry, did you say upcoming movie version of Baywatch?
Yes. They made a Baywatch movie.
Oh, man.
Go figure.
Wow.
Vince Vaughn actually lobbied for him to direct this movie because he was a fan of his documentary, The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, which was an acclaimed documentary about Donkey Kong. The story written by Matt Allen and Caleb Wilson. Screenplay written by Allen and Wilson with John Lucas and Scott Moore. Estimated budget of $80 million, domestic gross of $120.1 million, worldwide $163.7 million. I had no idea this movie was that successful.
Yeah.
Until I looked up all this info.
I have to admit, when I was doing my research for this, on the internet, I saw a lot of dislike for this movie. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Me neither. People saying, oh, it just wasn't funny. It's not really a Christmas movie. I don't know. I love it. I love it because it's like 5 movies in one, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. Those are the same people that say Die Hard's not a Christmas movie,
Oh,
too.
what is wrong with that?
This is definitely a Christmas movie. It's not your typical warm, fuzzy Christmas movie.
No.
But it sort of has that element, too.
It does, because it's got like a little bit of romantic comedy like drifting through it as their relationship evolves like in the course of one day through all their experiences.
Yeah, I mean, assuming everybody listening to the podcast has seen the movie, you know what it's about. If you've never seen the movie before and you're listening to the podcast, we may ruin some plot points in the movie. I mean, it's not like it's a huge deal like The Sixth Sense or anything, but...
Well, in the trailers and the promos and all the posters, it's like his mom, her dad, her mom, his dad, 4 Christmases.
Right.
You know?
But I mean, the premise of the movie is that Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn play a couple. They're kind of yuppies, I guess.
Yeah. Successful.
Very successful. They have a nice house.
Oh, the view.
And they're tired of the family Christmases. So
Yeah.
they go away on lavish vacations every time Christmas rolls around.
Yeah, for like, I think the past 3 years they said
Right.
they've been doing it.
Right, and they're scheduled to go to Fiji, and then fog rolls in and grounds all the airplanes, and they can't go. And then
Right.
all of a sudden, all the lies they're telling their families, oh, we're going to inoculate children in Burma and stuff.
But all of a sudden they're there at the airport and a TV crew finds them. How do you feel about this? Well, we were going to go on vacation and now our Christmas is ruined. So all of a sudden their parents start calling
Right.
and getting them to come visit.
Yeah, obviously hilarity ensues.
Of course.
Because the families are probably not unlike most people's families in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I bet everyone has someone similar to different characters.
Yeah, maybe they're turned up a couple of notches in this movie,
Well,
but
yeah, because that's what you do in a comedy.
there's one element, for example, Kristen Chenoweth plays Reese Witherspoon's sister. And she makes it a point to tell an embarrassing story about Reese
Yes.
to Vince Vaughn. That's something my brother has done to me more than once, if not necessarily at holiday time.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I was reading an interview with Kristen Chenoweth where she said her character is Courtney and she's the big sister.
Right.
And Reese Witherspoon is Kate, the little sister. And Courtney's just really picking at her and, this and that. And I was actually laughing because I thought she actually plays a pretty good big sister, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that's the big sister's job.
Right.
You're going to, call out your kid sister and you're going to give her advice and you're going to do this, but you still love her and you can
Right.
tell. But anyway, Kristen Chenoweth said her opinion was that Courtney peaked in high school.
Okay.
And Kate obviously did not,
Right.
with all of her experiences in life, But she thinks that Courtney's jealous of Kate, and that's why she kind of throws stuff out there to go,
Oh, okay.
oh, sure, you're successful, you have a nice boyfriend,
Yeah.
You really went from ugly duckling to swan,
Right.
But I'm still trying to get there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of thought that was interesting.
I think it's funny, you refer to her as the big sister, but she's
so little.
she's so tiny.
She's 2 inches shorter.
Reese Witherspoon is tiny too.
Yeah, she's 5'2".
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn is 6'5".
So that's what we look like next to each other
Yeah, pretty much, I guess.
So Four Christmases ranks at number 9 on the all-time list for the highest grossing Christmas movies. So for all those people who don't think this is a Christmas movie, that list begs to differ. I mean, there's probably a handful of movies that I think everybody thinks about come Christmas time. There's
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
Vacation. There's A Christmas Story. There's Home Alone.
Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
And some
White
people,
Christmas, those kind of things.
some people also go like, the more older route too with, Miracle on 34th Street
Right.
and things like that. But there's been some good Christmas movies out the past 5-10 years or so.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Huh.
So Peter Billingsley, who of course was Ralphie in A Christmas Story, has a cameo in this movie. He plays the airline check-in dude.
Yes.
But he's also one of the executive producers of the film. He and Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau are good friends, and they've actually worked together on a couple of different projects, including Couples Retreat, which we mentioned before. So it's kind of cool to see him as an adult,
Yeah.
because he's kind of forever Ralphie,
Yeah. When you say, oh, look, it's Ralphie, without the glasses, it takes you a second, but then you see it's the big blue eyes and you go, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. When you have a group of actors like this who are so talented, some fun things are bound to happen on set, right?
Oh, absolutely. For around 4 months before they even started cameras rolling or building sets, they rehearsed and they would work on the script and they would break down each scene, start over, and really flesh it out. So by the time they got to shooting, they knew what they were doing. That actually helped Reese Witherspoon because Vince Vaughn, I think, works that way a lot of the time.
Okay.
But I think this was kind of her first foray into that sort of thing. She said that he was very smart and very funny, but having worked it out before kind of helped her know it was coming. And some of the stuff he does and her reactions, I keep thinking like she's so good because she's like, she's got that mad face or this face or that face, and I'd be cracking up working with him.
Vince Vaughn sort of plays the same character in almost every movie that he does.
Yeah.
But he's so good at that character that you don't care because he's really funny. I'm a big fan.
I am too.
Like him a lot. Now, I had read that he didn't go out and promote the film because supposedly he didn't get along with Reese Witherspoon during filming.
Well, that's what the gossip column said.
Okay.
But Reese Witherspoon said they got along just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it sure seemed like they did.
Yeah, she said they felt like they were very much partners in the movie, worked the script together. But it's just a matter of these columns wanting to, this one's mad at that one. This one's dating this one. This one's having that one's baby.
Yeah. Yeah,
but she said it was fine. She loved working with him.
Yeah, I thought they had pretty good chemistry, personally.
Oh, yeah, I thought so, too.
Yeah. We got to talk about some of the specific stuff in the movie that gets us every time.
Oh, yes. Well, there are 4 different Christmases to discuss here.
Yeah, exactly.
There really are.
So, all right, so let's start with the first one. They go to Vince Vaughn's father's house, played by Robert Duvall. Howard is the character's name.
Yep.
He's got his 2 brothers, played by Tim McGraw and Jon Favreau.
Right.
And they're trained cage fighters, as he says, but they're not professional.
No.
They just go in the backyard of their friends and they shoot videos for YouTube.
Yep. That was kind of, pretty much like where they said they were going to take the characters, and Jon Favreau comes in with that mohawk and the tattoos.
Oh, my God.
He just took it right to the edge.
So good.
And then Tim McGraw put on weight to do the movie. There was a funny article about him at the time. Oh, Tim McGraw's Christmas weight comes early this year. And he'd put on 25 pounds.
Wow.
Because he figured, he's a wrestler or a fighter or whatever, but he's not really a professional. He's like the kind of guy who's like, I'll have a beer, then let's do something. So he said he got to set, and he takes one look at Jon Favreau, who had trimmed down.
Right. He was like buff a little bit.
Yeah, and Tim McGraw's like, wow, I'm the fat guy here.
But it works, though.
Yeah,
it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we also have to talk about their names, too.
Yes.
Denver, Dallas, and Vince Vaughn goes by Brad, and then we find out that his real name is Orlando because all the kids are named after the city in which they were conceived.
Yes. But then he says, I didn't like the name Orlando, I changed it.
Right.
Which is funny because later on, his mother always calls him Bradford.
Yeah, so I guess she acknowledges the change.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall calls him Lando at one point.
Yeah. And he calls Reese Witherspoon Tiny.
Right.
Where's Tiny?
Yeah, where's Tiny? So they get to his house, and, his brothers are beating up on him. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's how they greet him.
Yeah, they put him in chokeholds and all kinds of stuff.
They just have him right down on the floor.
Oh, we forgot to mention the safe word.
Oh.
So when they pull up to the house, Vince Vaughn tells Reese Witherspoon, listen, if it gets too intense in there, we have to come up with a code word to say so that we can, we can get out.
Yeah.
So mistletoe.
They come up with mistletoe.
Yeah. So if things are getting too intense for you, just say mistletoe.
Say mistletoe.
Pull the ripcord and we're out of there. What are you going to say if you want to go?
Mistletoe.
Okay, we can go right now. No, we're going inside.
We're going in.
Yeah. So they get in.
Which is funny because now you and I use mistletoe amongst ourselves.
It's very funny.
Yeah. Mistletoe!
So they get in there and they beat the crap out of Vince Vaughn.
Uh-huh. Now, whose kids are they?
Tim McGraw's kids.
Tim McGraw's kids.
Yeah.
They come out and they tackle him. They go, tag me in.
Yeah.
And they're beating him up.
Google me, bitch!
You might want to look me up sometime, Barbara. I don't even know where that comes from, but it's just great.
He says to her, my childhood was like the Shawshank Redemption, except I didn't have some old, warm black man to share my story with.
Yep.
And then Katie Mixon plays Jon Favreau's wife.
They are so good together.
They are. They really are.
What a riot.
So they got a little girl who's 9 months old, and she's pregnant.
Yeah, hugely pregnant.
Yeah.
So like 8.5 months pregnant.
So she popped out one kid and was pregnant like the next day, pretty much.
Bam, probably. Yeah. And she's so funny. She makes the hors d'oeuvres. Would anybody like hors d'oeuvres? And they're Ritz crackers with the
spray
cheese on them. And then when she's making that casserole, the casserole with the Spam and the mayo and the Doritos.
Oh,
she's
so
like, well,
gross.
later on we're going to make bologna sandwiches.
It's got that accent.
Oh my gosh. And the house itself, I found a really cool site that talked about the movie from the director's and production designer's point of view.
Okay.
And they were both had a lot of architectural experience. So they made each set for each parent like its own story.
Okay.
So when you look at Robert Duvall's house,
Yeah.
this is the house that the wife left 20 years ago and nothing has changed.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a house that is totally stuck in the 70s.
Yeah,
You know,
even
the
Tommy
shag
said,
rug.
"Oh,
Yeah.
look at it's so 70s, the brown, the orange."
Yeah, everything about it. It's
Rabbit
just,
ear
it's
TV.
great. Yeah, and the detail too, like the stereo
Yep,
system.
shag carpet,
Everything about it is just perfect.
the hunting
Yeah.
taxidermy stuff, the skunk. Oh,
Oh, it's just perfect. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, I was just thinking, Christmas Vacation, they have Cousin Eddie, the amazing crazy relative,
Yeah.
right? This movie has crazy relatives in every household, pretty
Yep,
much.
yep.
It's so much fun.
yeah, these
how
are the
they
most
interact.
rednecky out of all of them,
absolutely.
though. These are
Oh,
really
absolutely.
There's just
Absolutely.
been no woman around to control the boys for like 20 years, and the house just has been destroyed. Oh, and you've read something cool about how they built the set for that.
Yeah, so the house was actually built from scratch in the Shadow Hills area of South California with a reinforced roof that could stand the weight of the actors and the camera crew, because there's a whole scene that happens on the rooftop
Yeah.
where they're trying to install a satellite dish that
Yeah,
Vince
'cause-
Vaughn bought for his dad.
Yeah, they install things themselves.
Yeah, it doesn't work out well. It's very funny, the scene. And Seth Gordon, the director, was really proud at how surprised they were when they went into the house and it was completely empty. But it was obviously very sound on the roof
Yeah.
to film the
But
scene.
they weren't expecting it to be just this empty thing.
Yeah.
Even Howard's Christmas decorations look like they're from the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like he's been dragging them out of the garage every year and just putting them up and then putting them away again.
Yeah, I mean, he's
know.
a real nuts and bolts, blue collar kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, very no frills. And I just love how he talks about his mom, Vince Vaughn's mom,
Oh.
Sissy Spacek.
I don't want to speak ill of her, but
She's nothing but a common street whore. When he says to the kid, your grandmother's boyfriend is a first-class ass sniffer, and you could tell him that I said so.
it's funny because I can't even imagine Vince Vaughn's parents together. The Robert Duvall character and the Sissy Spacek character. I can't even imagine them.
Not at all.
No, because she's gone off and she's really built her own life now, you know.
And she's very new agey.
Very. She's,
I mean,
yes.
she's the polar opposite of what he is.
Yeah. His dad and his brothers bust on him for being educated.
Yeah.
You know, oh, well, you went to college. And he's like, oh, that's good. Make fun of me for being educated.
Right, exactly.
You know? So that's their first Christmas.
Yeah.
His dad. But by the end of it, it's funny because he holds the baby for just a brief moment.
Yeah.
And you can see like the look on Reese Witherspoon's face as she kind of goes, oh,
That doesn't look too weird.
it's not that bad. I mean, meanwhile, you know, in the earlier scenes, they've talked to people about why you shouldn't get married, why you shouldn't have kids, why
Right.
they're never going to do that.
Well, they both have an experience with the baby at Robert Duvall's house.
Yeah.
She sees him carrying the baby, and he still wants no part of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Katie Mixon gives the baby to Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah.
and the baby's wailing, just screaming. Oh, she'll get to like you, and she'll get used to you, or whatever. And she's like, no, she doesn't like me. When's she gonna stop crying? And she just is like so.
She's so panicked.
Yeah, panicked.
Which,
And then,
if you're holding a screaming baby, you shouldn't be getting anxious over it
Right.
because that doesn't help.
right.
You know? And then finally the baby settles down. And then when the chaos happens with the satellite dish,
Yeah.
she ends up whacking the baby's head into the cabinet door.
Which I'm sorry. I mean, it's very clear that it's not
You can
really the
tell it's
baby,
fake, but it's so
funny. It's
funny.
very funny.
Oh, it's so funny.
All right, so where do they go next?
Okay, so they go from there to Kate's mother's house.
Ah, yes. and-
Marilyn.
right, and she says to Vince Vaughn as they pull up, this is a cougar den,
Yes.
so be careful.
Yes. And an interesting thing about this situation
Mm-hmm.
is her house and everything was designed just to be surface, veneers, nothing below, no depth to
Okay.
it. Because her mom is just so malleable. It's like she'll be whoever she needs to be to make her current boyfriend happy.
Okay.
So that's where they've taken like the whole set decoration, everything too. There's like
Mm-hmm.
nothing personal up on the walls, but there is the photo album of Kate's childhood,
Right.
you know, with all the chubby pictures
Right.
and stuff like that. And we forgot Carol Kane was in it,
Yep, Carol Kane.
and the woman who plays the grandmother.
oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh! I mean, how do you follow her with anything?
The grandmother with a little bit of a sexual appetite,
Little bit.
which is always funny, yet slightly disturbing.
It's just, yeah. Like, if someone who was like 20 said it, you'd be going like, oh, come on. But the fact that she looks like she's 80 at least.
I love when they go around and they talk about we're having a non-material spiritual Christmas. So instead of presents, we're going to talk about how we can be more spiritual this Christmas. How we can
What gifts we can give.
What gifts we can give. And then
Yes.
Graham says, I can increase the frequency with which I pleasure Milt with my hands and with my mouth. Vince Vaughn is just like, I'm sorry, what?
I can't. I have to go next. I can't follow that.
Yeah, I can't follow
follow
Graham. So funny.
Yep. So this is where we meet the Kristen Chenoweth character. Mm-hmm. There's two baby things that happen with Kate's mom, because the first one is Kristen Chenoweth's baby.
Right.
She says to Kate, here, hold him a minute, and he ends up spitting up all over her.
Right, and Vince Vaughn is like,
Oh, I can't be here.
I can't be here. I gotta be away. Oh, get out of here. I'm gonna puke too.
And all the women start fawning over him. Oh, did you need water? And meanwhile, like, Reese Witherspoon is covered in his spit up.
And he's so good at doing that gag reflex.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
funny.
So she goes off to the bathroom to clean herself up. She sees the pregnancy test in her sister's diaper bag and decides to try it out. And it turns out, it says later in the movie, well, I was late, so I wanted to know.
Right.
And then the niece comes in and steals it and goes in the bouncy house.
Yeah, the jump.
Jump.
Yeah, which Reese Witherspoon, when she was a kid, had a bad experience. And so it's a whole thing
Yeah,
with the jump.
yeah.
Very funny sequence.
Mm-hmm. And then their next thing with the baby is when they go to church with her family,
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's baby Jesus.
Yes.
That huge, fat baby.
Bernard, right?
Bernard. That's Bernard. Oh, this Jesus is kind of cute. But did you know they wrote Pastor Phil to be not what it ended up like? Their plan was they would, get Dwight Yoakam. They were going to get him just kind of like on an empty stage with like a beat up fog machine and a guitar.
Okay.
And he would like play something and then tell his sermon. But he just took off with it. And he's got the big voice and hallelujah and blah, 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 and the big country star. They built a whole show around him.
Oh, wow.
And that's where it went with that, the whole band on stage
the whole
and the
revival thing.
lights and, rock and roll.
Silent night. So funny. So then they're on their way to the next house.
Right. And that's his mom.
Paula, yeah.
And I always felt like, wow, that's probably what I would be like.
Not quite as new agey.
Maybe not quite as new agey, but it looks like she's gone back to school. She's a therapist now, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And, her house is so cool. It's very
Yeah.
zen. It's got the stained glass. And, it was a real property that they filmed on, although they
Okay.
did some of the interior stuff on a set. She's, oh, no, honey, don't take those. Those are grandma's special brownies.
Right.
I'm just like, oh, my gosh, she's so cool. But the creepy thing is she's got this boyfriend who's like 30 years younger than her.
Yeah, very young. And he comes in. Oh, hi, honey. And he
Big
says,
guy.
Look, Brad, I'm not trying to be your father. You already got one of those. I'm just hoping for a chance to be your friend. You were my friend, Daryl. You were my best friend. We grew up together. We rode bikes together. We used to smell each other's hands.
Oh.
But now you're sleeping with my mom, and it's a little bit weird for me. Can you
Oh.
appreciate that?
It's just so...
And he's like, I never had a sexual thought about your mom until I was 30. Can you leave it alone? You can't be my friend anymore. You can't be sleeping with my mom and still be my friend, okay?
Yep. That was actually Vince Vaughn's idea to put that part in. To go like, what if she's sleeping with her son's best friend from high school? Let's
awesome.
just put that in there. You see, the theory here is that the two brothers, Denver and Dallas, stayed with the dad. Mm-hmm. But when the mom left, Brad went with her.
Right.
So
because
you
he
can
was more
kind of-
sensitive,
yes,
as she put it.
Yes. So you can see, they really built a lot of big backstories to all the characters, and
Yeah.
I think it really comes through.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
not
does.
just stereotypes or caricatures.
Yeah.
Sissy Spacek said it was a rare opportunity for her to play something like this.
Yeah.
She hadn't done, a lot of comedy or anything. And she said it was like catching a moving train and trying to stay out from under the wheels. It's just
Yeah.
so much fun. And the guy who played her boyfriend was in Swingers with Vince Vaughn,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have a quick Sissy Spacek story. I
Okay.
met her once.
You did?
Yeah. When I was living down in Charlottesville working at Z95 with Les, she came into the station because she lives not too far from Charlottesville.
Okay.
She came in to record some sort of a PSA or something.
Okay.
I was bold, and I went up to her and introduced myself and said, really nice to meet you. It's not every day you get to meet an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan of your work. And I asked her if she would cut a promo for our station.
Ooh.
You know, like, this is Sissy Spacek, and you're listening to Z95. Probably was a little awkward for me to do that. And in retrospect, I'm kind of sorry that I did. I don't think she was offended.
Did she have time to do it or no?
No, she clearly had no intention of ever doing that.
Yeah.
But she wasn't, wasn't like, how
offended
dare you?
or-
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Tiny,
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah. Which is funny if you think about her being the mother to those 3 boys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it's funny because she looks exactly the same in person as she does in movies.
Oh,
Because she
cool.
doesn't wear a lot of makeup and stuff.
Yeah. Did you know she's a Christmas baby?
I did not know
She
that.
was born December 25th of 1949.
Well, how do you like that?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So at her house, they have established, the whole Zen thing.
Right.
They've got the cringeworthy boyfriend.
Right.
And then they break out the
game of taboo.
The game of taboo, which is, that might be my favorite scene.
It's pretty funny.
In the whole movie.
It's pretty funny.
Because she doesn't get it,
Right.
Paula herself. She's like buzzing at the wrong places.
Right.
And when she's trying to play it with the boyfriend, they get 1 or 2. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
But then Katie Mixon and Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah. They're like connected mentally.
Yep.
That's a fun game, by the way.
That is. And then it gets to Brad and Kate, and they're just, you can see, they don't have that connection.
No.
She's like, what I'm scared of? And he's like,
Jumps?
Jumps? Heights? And she's like, no, the thing I'm most scared of. Spiders. I'm most scared of spiders.
Right. They don't know each other as well as they thought they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right before them, you had the couple that got like 8 in a row.
Right.
What you gave me last Thursday when I got home. Alibi.
Yeah.
Just one thing after another. You and me dry humping on the beach.
Screensaver. It's so funny. All right, so then they go to the 4th Christmas, which is John Voight's house.
Yes.
Which is Reese Witherspoon's dad.
Yes.
And as they're on their way over there, they start talking about maybe getting married and having a baby.
Yeah.
Reese Witherspoon is starting to think along those lines more after this day.
Yeah, because she's seen different situations. She's held 3 different babies at this point.
Right. And Vince Vaughn is kind of like, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
You knew what I wanted coming in. Don't
Yeah.
change the rules now, sort of thing.
And she's coming at it saying, but, I'm just saying if it happens.
Right.
Like, we should be open to that. And
Right.
he's
She's
like,
not giving him an
no.
ultimatum or
Yeah.
anything.
But she's kind of realizing that they might be wanting different things.
Right.
I have to admit, I kind of have mixed feelings about that whole thing. Because in a way, I want him to say to her, oh, yes, anything for you, honey. But in a way, I'm looking at her going, you changed the rules.
Yeah.
He was honest with you right from the beginning, and what
Right.
makes you think now? So I don't know how I feel about that scene.
I think they played it well in the movie in that they didn't decide it right then and
Yeah.
there. He offered to go in with her.
Right.
And she's like, we don't have to pretend we're something we're not.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
she's
it.
like, my sister will give me a ride home.
Right. And then it actually opens up for a nice little thing between her and Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah.
Where Kristen Chenoweth, kind of says, well, where's Brad? Oh, and, I'd rather not talk about it. Okay. And then she kind of like comforts her a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So it's
she,
kinda
she
cool.
says, I got your back.
Yeah.
Like in case anybody asks or
Right.
something.
Right.
Which is that's an awesome sister.
Yeah. John Voight, great as always.
Really great.
He seems like the most normal
Yeah.
out of all of them.
Yeah. The director said that John Voight's character was kind of the toughest to figure out
Yeah.
because he doesn't come in until later.
Right.
There's really no discussion of him earlier.
Right.
And but then he becomes this kind of, chess piece. And he's able to talk to Kate and say, well, this is what I did. And it didn't work.
Right.
And I've just found out that if I'm just honest,
Yeah.
then everything else kind of falls into place.
Right.
And his house, if you noticed, is the most traditional of everything. The lights up, the Christmas tree, the dining room,
And he just seems like a very traditional guy.
Yeah. She looks into the living room and there's her dad sitting next to her mom.
Yeah.
She says to her sister, when did this happen? She's like, ever since Cassie was born.
was one, yeah.
Yeah.
They do things together
Yeah.
for the benefit of the grandchildren.
Yeah. Pastor Phil is there and her dad's girlfriend is there.
Right.
And they all just get along. They're like acting like just grown-ups.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool.
Like it
and
kind
it's a
of
cool
gives
way.
you a little bit of hope.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. The movie all along, you're going, oh boy, they got these crazy dysfunctional families, and And then they kind of bring it all to a good place before the movie ends,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
good,
Yeah.
which is what gives it the warm, gooey center that it needs to
Right.
be a good Christmas movie.
Yeah, they wanted this final, gathering to be emotional, but not heavy.
Right.
Kind
of like how in Bad Santa, which we talked about last week, you can't have Billy Bob Thornton just be a drunk, womanizing criminal and have no redeeming value.
Right.
Otherwise, it's terrible for
Right.
Christmas.
Right.
You got to have something in there.
Right.
In this movie, they do kind of bring it home in a good way.
Yeah.
It ends on a positive note.
Yeah. And
Without
it's-
giving away everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because John Voight's character isn't really funny. He's the one
Right.
out of all of them
Right.
who's the most straight-laced.
Right.
When they were casting these parts, they weren't looking for comedians.
Right.
They were looking for good, solid actors.
Sure.
Which I think they got.
Oh, well, they're all Oscar winners. Yeah. I think they did okay.
Yeah, but now they could actually just relax, let loose, have a little fun.
Yeah.
I'm just a sucker for anything that goes to a dad theme.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I still, every time he opens the door and stands there and she goes, "Hi, Dad," I'm like, oh, I get a little teary every single time, and they have their talk and, it's nothing gooey, but it's just so nice.
And one of the other things that's really cool about this movie, for what it's worth, is that it clocks in at a nice, lean 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. You're having so much fun watching the movie.
Yeah, and the progress of the day. I mean, literally, they're
laughing.
driving from one place to the other. It gets dark there at, her dad's house.
When we were watching the movie the other night, as the credits started rolling, I looked at the Blu-ray player, 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Wow. That's
And
really
it's so
cool.
and it's filled with so many great laughs that it moves very quickly.
Yeah.
Four Christmases, a great movie, a lot of fun. And let us know what you think. If you have a favorite scene we didn't talk about, you can tell us about it at our Facebook page, facebook.com/ScreenFacts. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Remember, you can tweet me at Jason Davis Voice. You can email screenfacts@yahoo.com if you want to get in touch. Please rate and subscribe on iTunes. You can also show your support for the show by ordering ScreenFacts merchandise on the podcast page of jasondavisvoice.com.
They make great holiday gifts.
Please note that beginning next month, we're going to be a little bit more flexible with the episode schedule. We're really not putting any kind of timeline on it. When we can do an episode, we will. We will release any new episodes on Wednesday, so always check for a new episode on Wednesday. Show theme music by Audionautics.com, and thanks to our announcer, Kim McKay from KimsVoice.com. Honey, thank you so much for joining me for this podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You'll be back next week for the final one of the year.
You bet I will.
I'm not going to say what we're doing yet. Tune in next week to find out.
Screen Facts with Jason Davis is a production of Jason Davis VoiceOver. Visit jasondavisvoice.com if you need a voice for a commercial, narration, promo, internet video, e-learning or training program, and more. Click on the podcast page to get information about where you can download and listen to past episodes. Listen again next Wednesday for a new episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis.